Thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Combiner Wars Deluxe class Blastoff, the first figure in the new Combaticons wave. This one's actually sparked a bit of controversy because Blastoff historically has been a space shuttle, and this one, they got him as being one of the aerial bots, thus making him just a jet, and that's kind of bummed some people out. But honestly, for me, I don't mind it really all that much, because as being a Combaticon, they're, militaristic vehicles. And I never really thought of a space shuttle as part of the military. So this kind of works for me. It's not, for me, that much of a violation or anything. But for the package, you can see you got the nice open clamshell right here. You can combine to form Bruticus. You got an image right here of Bruticus, and then you can see that Blastoff is number 1 of 5. You can see that the background is the comic book, so that still carries through. You come around here to the back. You can collect all 5 to form Bruticus. And it says, most bots unlucky enough to find themselves in the sights of Decepticon Blastoff don't have any idea what's about to hit them. His preferred method is to attack from orbit, destroying his targets with a pinpoint laser strike from high above the planet's surface. So even though he is a jet, they still kind of homage that, space shuttle aspect, I guess. But for the package, it's nothing that we really haven't seen before. All these Deluxe class Combiner War figures are pretty much the same. So without further ado, let's get this guy out here and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Blastoff opened up and out of his packaging. And like I said, you do got the comic book with it with a real cool image here in the front. I don't read the comics, but just kind of flipping through. The art looks really good. I don't pay attention to the story or anything like that, so I can't tell you what it's all about. I do know here on the front, it says that it's part of the Transformers Combiner Wars first printing Hasbro number 3, so if that means anything to you. And then you come around here to the back of the package, and I should probably come up here just so you can actually see this a little bit better. You do have a little bit more of a read-up. If you want to read it, you can go ahead and pause it. But I do like how they actually homage and talk about his spaceship mode. It says Blastoff altered his Cybertronian spaceship mode into an Earth-style spaceship. He took immense pleasure in it, blah, blah, blah. He apparently was captured and imprisoned on Cybertron, which crippled the Combaticons, which left them unable to combine to form Bruticus. And then when they were finally reunited, Onslaught required him to change his vehicle mode into what you have right here. So that's pretty cool. I do appreciate that. And then you open it up and you can see on the back here you got various pictures of the design process. You got like the sketch phase, gray model phase, and then of course the finished product, as well as like color coding right there. So you do get that, and that's pretty nice. Now, like I said, Blastoff here is a repaint of, well, I guess you could say Fireflight and Slingshot, as Slingshot's a repaint of Fireflight, but basically that's what you have here, and it's not remolded or anything like that. You do get different weapons with it, like this gun is a different gun that we haven't gotten before. The feet, their hand probably is very similar. I don't know if that's molded differently. I really haven't taken much of a look at that, but yeah, I do like the fact that you get that new weapon with it. Jet mode, though, I mean, I think he looks pretty good. He is in a spaceship, but they kind of explain that, and like I said, to me, I think it makes more sense. Now, for a comparison, let's just bring in the G1 Blastoff, and you can see that it has a little bit darker of a color. I would imagine that the Takara one will probably go with this darker color, but I like you got the purple here, you got the purple there, you got the light purple for his windshield, and you got that here as well. You got the Decepticon logos here on the little tail fin there. All in all, I mean, it's a decent representation, despite not being that space shuttle anymore. And then for another comparison, here we have him next to, well, Slingshot, but like I said, Slingshot is just a repaint. You come around here to the bottom, it's the exact same figure all the way around. I shouldn't say that. I'm not 100% sure if I'm just cheating right now, and I'm trying to see. Actually, yeah, even the head is the exact same. It's just repainted. So you do have the Slingshot head with that, but I mean, it is what it is. I know some people are going to complain because it's yet another repaint, and I get that. I totally understand it. It doesn't bother me really all that much. I mean, I'm just very thrilled that we're getting all these Combiner War figures that are actually good combiners. Would I prefer individual alt modes? Absolutely, but I do understand as a business aspect, Hasbro is going to produce figures that they can repurpose multiple times. And it just makes sense. If you start out doing the aerial bots where you have jets, use figures in the future that would use a similar alt mode. So it works for me, I guess. It doesn't really upset me all that much. But for the jet mode, that's about it for it. You can see he does have landing gear right there. You can tuck that up. You got the visible arms here on the side. You got the feet right down here, which, I mean, all the various complaints and things like that that we would have with the other aerial bots is still true with this guy. But I'm overall, I'm happy with him. You know, like I said, it's not a, you know, earth-shattering brand new figure or anything of that nature. So I'm just quite content that we got one. So since he is part of the Scramble City, he can be in either arm or a leg. Now, typically for me, Blastoff is an arm. And since we've already seen the transformation for this guy several times already, I am going to go ahead and skip it. But utilizing some movie magic, we're going to go from Blastoff here in his jet mode to his leg mode. And again, if you had any of your aerial bots in a leg configuration, you might do it this way. You may rotate it around. You may do it with the top of the jet facing forward. It's all personal preference. I do kind of wish, I mean, you do get a gray set of hands and feet with the various Combaticons. I do kind of wish it had a little bit more of a silverish tone. The G1 figure had a little bit more of that, but I'm pretty happy with it. At least it's not a completely different color or something like that. So there you have it. I mean, it does, I mean, people have complained about the foot and everything. Again, I'm not going to be too terribly nitpicky because it has to be both a foot or a hand. Now, people say that they want this to be a bigger foot, and I understand that. But in putting two things in one, if you made this as a bigger foot, that would mean the hand would be big, and the hand's already probably too big. That's one thing that they complain about with the hand, that it's too big of a hand. So it's too small of a foot and too big of a hand. I don't know. You can't fix everything. I mean, it's just, I mean, that's where people will get like third-party things, which I understand. And in something like that, I think that it's kind of warranted, I guess. But there you have his leg mode. Now, again, because we have seen the transformation, I will skip it, but using some of that same movie magic, we're going to go from his leg mode. Here's his arm mode configuration, and this is typically what I have my Blastoff figure as. I mean, however you choose to do this, I mean, that's personal preference on how you want to make it look. I kind of like leaving those up because it looks like blades right there, so that looks pretty cool. But usually I have Blastoff as the right arm of Bruticus himself. And again, same thing. I mean, you got the little connector joint right here, which works very good. You got this section right here, which can rotate. It's like a swivel for his elbow. You got two kind of elbow joints. Plugging this in allows you to rotate that around. You can have this be a right or a left arm. It just matters how you configure it. You can put it like that, and then you have to take this, rotate that around, and look, now you have a left arm form. So again, it's all a matter of personal preference, what you guys like, and how you want to have your Combaticons kind of configured. So exact same, nothing really changes with this compared to the other uses of this mold. So there you have his arm. I do like you got the big giant blasters right there. So again, because we saw the transformation previously, I am going to skip it and use that movie magic to take the Blastoff from his arm to his robot mode. And again, you're really not getting much different. Now, some people have complained because they're using the Slingshot's head as opposed to Fireflight's. It doesn't really matter to me. I mean, either way, it's going to be, you know, a reused head, so it's not that big of a deal. But all in all, I think it does still look pretty good. It is obviously a reused figure. I mean, you bring it in and it is identical, but the color does give it a very nice kind of difference. But I know people are going to complain because it is a reused figure. Now, for a comparison to his G1 self, obviously much smaller, but there's also, I mean, I think some things that they could have done differently. Now, obviously, it's a little bit harder to put, you know, like these sticker details with the little buttons and things right there on that chest because you got to have the, you know, Decepticon logo and things like that. I get that, but I probably wouldn't have minded if they put a little yellow strip coming down here or something. I guess, you know, you got the yellow down here. Could be that. I don't know. It doesn't have a full-on, paint kind of thing going for it. I do like, they got the lighter purple chest. I do like how they did that with this. Obviously, you got the light purple for the eyes, very similar to how the G1 toy was. So, it's a decent representation, but again, people will make up their own minds when they get the figure. One thing that I will say is that compared to the Slingshot here, this was fairly loose on him, and the legs are a little bit floppy. This guy is really tight. His legs aren't really floppy. This, you can see, floppy legs. His legs aren't doing nothing. So I'm really quite impressed. They're a lot tighter than I thought they would be. And one thing that's very ironic, you'll find out in my Brawl review, is that all of these reused figures are actually tighter than Brawl, who's a brand new figure. So, in general, very nice. Like I said, you do get a new gun with it. I'm quite happy with it. It's going to be one of those things where purists are probably really not going to like it, because Takara has, with all the other Combiner War figures so far, kind of went back and gave us new molds for things. Like, for example, the Takara version of Superion comes with the Slingshot. Slingshot was available separately, and that's how I got him, but Takara did do that, and then they are also giving us a deluxe size groove to go along with the Protectobot. So people tend to think that maybe they're going to give us a space shuttle to kind of fit better with the Combaticons. I honestly don't know if I would pick that up. I'm quite happy with him. That I don't really feel that urge to spend more money on a figure that I'm just kind of meh about. He's pretty good, though. I do like him, and if you're a Transformer fan, you're more than likely going to be getting the Combaticons anyhow, and you'll just be one of those people that complain. Or you'll just get the Combaticons and be happy with what you got and kind of leave it at that, I guess. But there you guys have it. So this is a figure that you'd be interested in picking up. He will be hitting retail fairly soon. Or as always, here in the US, he will be available at Big Bad Toy Store, or over in the UK at Kapow Toys. So all you have to do is click on the links down in the video description, and depending on your location, here in the US you can go to Big Bad Toy Store, or in the UK go to Kapow Toys, where you can check out availability on this, as well as the rest of the Combiner War figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus, and until next time, I'll talk to you later.